Hi everyone, there's been a few of you who have asked me about Zoom and how I use Zoom, and in particular how to use breakout groups in Zoom so that you can have students do their activities in a group and then bring them back together, and you can jump in and out of those groups to check in on them. So I've just created a little video to show you how it works, and then if you're interested later today, we could do a practice Zoom where I can make you the host and you can actually practice putting us into groups and taking them out and that sort of thing. So the first thing is to show you a few settings that I really like about Zoom. So I'll take you over there first and show you what I like. So most of the settings I really like are in Meeting Advanced. So this is on the online Zoom, not in the app. So you need to sign in online. Go to settings. So settings on the left here, settings, and then go into in Meeting Advanced. This is the breakout room one. So just click on for breakout room, and that will allow you then to, if you want to use breakout rooms, that's an option. If you don't want to use them, you don't have to unclick it. It'll just stay there as a feature, and when you choose to use it, good, and if you're not, then that's fine as well. A few other things that I like in here, virtual background, so you can add a virtual background to your meetings, so if you just want to give the students a little bit of fun. This waiting room. So this waiting room is one that I really like. It means that when students join in, they don't actually come into the face-to-face meeting until I allow them to. It's just an extra safety thing. If you are not comfortable being in the room one-on-one with a student, then you can wait till more than one student joins. Or as well, if some random person gets a hold of your meeting information, then you don't have to let them into the meeting at all. So if you end up with someone in the meeting who shouldn't be, and you accidentally let them in, this is just a separate safety thing. So if an outsider ends up in the meeting, you can kick them out, and it means that they cannot rejoin. So once they've been kicked out of the meeting, they're not able to rejoin the meeting again. Okay, so let's go over to Zoom and I'll show you the breakout room. So I'm just going to add a few dummy participants in. Okay, so here's my waiting room. I can see now that I've got 2 students that are joining me, so I can admit both of those students into my meeting. All right, so now I have my my students in the class. Down here you've got breakout rooms. Now you can set up the breakout rooms before the students join. So I would open my meeting 5 minutes before and just jump on here, go to breakout rooms and work out how many breakout rooms I actually want. So I'm gonna have 2 separate rooms. Now you can automatically have the computer decide who goes into what rooms, and they will just evenly spread them out, or you can manually do it. With one of my classes, I definitely will be manually setting them out into their groups. The other one I could do automatically. All right, so here's the breakout rooms. You can rename the rooms. If you've got groups that you used to use last term or whatever, you could name them, or just leave them as room 1, room 2. If you find you wanted extra than what you had, you can just click add a room down here and it will just keep adding rooms. Now, if I want to assign my students, I click assign, and my students that are in the meeting will come up here, and I'll just click it. Okay, so Cameron's going to the first one, iPad's going to breakout room 2. Now these, at the moment, it's not been started yet, so you can see that we're all still in the main room here. But over here, when I choose to open all rooms, okay, then what happens is, on their screen, they'll get a little notification, and it says the host is inviting you to join breakout room 2, and it says you can join or you can press later. So if they click join, then they will be on their way to that room. All right, and Cameron's on the way to his room. So now I'm in the common space where they have gone to their room, so I can see them in there. They're in their rooms. Now, if I wanted to go and check in on a group and see how they're going, or in particular, if I've got a group of students who usually I would be adjusting for or giving extra instructions, then I might choose to go and join their group. So I click join breakout room 1, yes. and it takes me to breakout room 1. So now I'm in that breakout room with those students. I can chat with them, check on how they're going, and then I can leave them to do their work. So when I go to leave the breakout room, I can either leave it and it will take me back to the common space, or if I want to jump between breakout rooms, then I can go and join breakout room 2, and it will just take me straight to that next breakout room and I can check on them. Now I'm in breakout room 2, checking on those students, and then when I'm ready, I can leave the breakout room, return to main session. Now, students can also jump back to the main session. So if they have a question for you and they want to come and ask you, one student could jump out, ask you the question, and then jump back into their group, and that's fine as well. In here, so if I click the breakout rooms again, so I can go to broadcast message to all, and let's say, for example, I'd given them some time on it and I decided actually that's enough time in checking with the groups. They haven't taken as long as I thought, or they needed extra time. I can just broadcast a message saying groups will finish in 10 minutes. Broadcast that message to all, and even though they're in their separate groups, they'll all get that little notification. When I go to close the rooms, so it will give them a countdown. The default is 60 seconds. I'm probably going to change mine down to 10 seconds just because when I'm ready to close it, I'm ready to close it. But if you want the 60 seconds, it allows them to finish their discussion, finish the last point they were talking about or whatever. And when those rooms close, that will bring them all back into our common space in the middle here. It also means that students, like if you're leaving it up to them to come back to the meeting, some students might get left in their group. And so this just brings them all back at once. Okay, so now those breakout rooms have been closed and everyone's now back into our common meeting space. Now, if you decided that you wanted to do another group, so let's say you had them in groups, they did something, now you wanted to shuffle those groups, and we can go to recreate. So we can go to recreate automatically, and again, it will assign the participants to 2 different rooms, and it will be automatic, so random. Or you could, again, if you wanted them in separate groups, but you manually want to do it, you can do that as well. So when you click recreate all rooms, it'll, I guess, essentially empty the rooms, and you can either assign them manually or you could automatically recreate all rooms and it's been automatically assigned. Again, this won't actually open the rooms. We're all still in the main area here until you click open all rooms, and then they'll get that invitation to join those groups. All right. I think that's all of the main features of being able to do this. If you have any questions, though, please feel free to email me or ask me about it. But yeah, hopefully this is a really helpful feature for you to allow some group work in your classes via Zoom.